turn some of this audio down here. Let's get this going here. Excellent. Well, welcome everybody here to another NES fan session here. Actually, we're going to be playing the Super Nintendo today, and we're going to be playing Chrono Trigger. And today we actually have a guest host here, Spencer.
Hello.
Who's excited to get after Chrono Trigger. And what makes today special in today's broadcast is that we're actually going to be running this from beginning to end. And it's not as if we're going to be cutting corners or anything either, other than just in the dialogue, correct? We're just going to be kind of pressing the story on, so we're not here for longer than we need to be. But the other thing is that we're going to be talking a little bit about the story, but we're going to do all the... I'll have Spencer explain it. All the side quests?
Yeah, so basically, if anybody's familiar with the game, we're going to go through the main storyline. Won't give any spoilers for anybody that doesn't know, but we're going to get to the point where there are 6 or 7 available side quests. We're going to do those 6 or 7 side quests, and then we're going to go through the Black Omen to get the real good ending of Chrono Trigger. There are 13 or 14 endings to Chrono Trigger, depending on when you decide to beat the last boss, and we're going to go all the way through the game to get the right ending. So that's our plan. Should take between, I'd say, 16 and 18 hours, so over 2 days. I think
we're looking to make a good chunk in a dent today, and then pick this up. I mean, we'll go late into the evening tonight.
Yep.
And then we'll pick this up tomorrow and try to wrap things up. But also during this gameplay, we're going to be doing some game giveaways. I have some few games and doubles of some carts that I'm going to give away, and we'll go ahead and auction, well, not really auction, but kind of a raffle those games off, and then shipping's on me, so you'll get a free game. So just stay tuned so we can get that going here. It looks like we're getting a few viewers coming in here, so this is great. We're getting a couple here. I don't think we're running a little bit behind, so we're just going to go ahead and dive right into this. And if you have any questions for us, please feel free to make a comment here on the Twitch stream. We'll try to get to them as they come in. Do you want to... Did you start a whole new game?
Yep.
On the third slot?
Yep.
Excellent.
Well, I have to wait till we save.
Oh, okay. Right.
Until you save, you don't.
Okay. And we just want to leave the characters' names the same?
Yep. Our main
Works
character,
for me.
Chrono.
I'll turn some game audio up here.
Yeah, so just some background. This is my favorite game growing up. It's still my favorite game of all time. I play through about once a year, I'd say. And then once every 5 years, I go through and get all the endings in about 12 to 14 playthroughs. So I am very, very adept at the game because I've played it so many times. There's not a whole lot of strategy other than just knowing what the bosses do, but yeah, it should be a good time.
All right, they're saying it's tough to hear you, so make sure you get into that microphone.
Okay. Is it on?
Yeah, it should be on.
Can you guys hear me now?
Steak leaves, right? Steak, can you hear us? Help with that?
Yeah. Yeah, just get it up a little bit. I'm usually not a quiet person, so I've never been told that before. There we go. How's that, Steak Leaves?
It's saying he's still pretty quiet. Well, let's turn him up then.
Yeah. I'm not shocked that Nick would put me at a quieter volume than himself.
There, I think I got him up a little bit louder. There, we've turned his up quite a bit.
Are we better now?
I can hear you pretty well in mine.
Okay.
But we'll have to see what they say.
So we're going to start the story off by going to Leanne Square for a festival.
And let us know if you can't hear the game audio music as well. Up or down, but we can hear it pretty well on our end. So where are we at right now?
So we're in Leanne Square. There's a festival going on near Chrono's hometown. And we just bumped into a random tomboyish girl.
Tomboyish girl.
They describe her as that. One thing here, the next few decisions you make will affect a little piece of fun story a little bit later. So the first thing you want to do is check on her and then go grab her pendant and then bring it back to her.
Okay, audio's down there a little bit there.
Yeah,
there.
I can't hear the volume of the game at all anymore. Oh, never.
Well,
I can.
it's paused.
Okay, sorry.
God, this guy. This is.
I don't. So that's one thing I was gonna say is on the.
It's starting.
Oh, did you catch that from Josh?
Yeah, he said maybe the audio was a little bit loud.
Yep.
So I've turned it down already.
So another thing that I like to do here is there's a poor girl that lost her cat, and we're gonna bring the cat back to her.
I'm gonna save that cat.
Save the cat. It speaks good to Chrono character when he's on trial a little bit later.
He does go on trial, doesn't he?
Yeah.
On trial. What's he on trial for again?
For kidnapping a princess. And actually sending her to the past about 400 years. One other thing we're going to do is we're going to go do our first battle of the game against Luca's robot here. We'll get some points for this that we'll need later in the game, and it'll just kind of show everybody how the battle system works here. It's an active time battle menu system. You only have 3 choices on the menu. It's attack, techniques, and items. And then as we go through the game, really cool if anybody's not played this game, the characters combine for combo attacks, which are really cool, and every set of characters has unique combo attacks. I just played through this game recently to kind of prep for this, make sure that I knew what was going on. And I think what we're going to do is go with a party of Marley, Luca, and Chrono for most of the game.
And why is that choice?
So Luca, who we'll meet here shortly, is a good fire cast magic, and one of my least favorite bosses to fight against are the Golem twins, and she helps significantly for that battle. And Marley's just a good healer, and yeah. So that's the party I'm going to use. Last time I went through, I went with Ayla and Robo, which we'll meet quite a bit later in the game. But I liked this idea of a party for this playthrough. It's 3 of the main characters, and probably have the most fun dialogue between them as well. Can I go yet? I don't remember what is the triggering event here, honestly. Every time. So we can go talk to him right now and grab a sword, which we might go ahead and do. Might just make this next section just a little easier. So I'll equip that right now. Don't try to sell Marley's pendant.
What happens if you try to sell it?
Again, it comes up later when Chrono's
on trial.
Yep. And so our goal is to get all the jury votes our way when we get to that point.
Try that.
So I think that now we can go.
We're not trying to swing the jury or any way means, but we're just trying to show that Chrono's a good person.
Right.
All right.
Oh, I don't remember. Slap your 5 head is creating.
Yeah, that.
Josh being funny.
He thinks he's funny.
He is funny. I don't know what I can't remember the triggering event for here. That's pretty sad. But I know at some point in time I can go.
I think Spencer's nervous.
I don't know. Well, we'll go see the prehistoric exhibit. I really just don't know what the heck I'm doing. Maybe
You played this game not too long ago.
Yeah, the DS has some different quirks in it. Oh, stop.
Do you have to chug and dance? Megan's asking.
I can go chug. Next. Might have to go dance. I don't remember. I mean, this is very inconsequential. Let's see if I have the turbo finger going to drink some sodas. No problem. So a little flirt mance going on already after we bumped into her and made her drop her pendant. So, Yeah, so we're getting off to a good start with the cute tomboy girl. You'll be hearing a lot of this music a little bit later in the game. It's actually pretty fun now.
There we go. Get the turbo controller. Right, we could probably do for that.
Yeah.
They're
You don't need to have fast fingers.
And today, you guys, if you're not unaware of it, we're playing this on the Analogue NT Mini, so we're trying to get the best qualities possible for you, for everyone who's viewing this. I do have an SNES 1 chip, and we could run it through a FrameMeister, but it's just a heck of a lot easier to run it through the Super NT.
Whatever Nick said is right. I don't know the streaming business, so he's going to have to be our guide on that. And I'm doing a poor job guiding us through Chrono Trigger, so hopefully one thing gets right today.
Right?
Unlike our buddy Executive Bear, Josh, who did some Resident Evil streams, I'm going to try not to freak out and throw a controller or run out of the room or anything. So.
Yeah, and one of my co-hosts end up throwing an F-bomb and throwing the controller down and getting up and walking out in the middle of the stream. We try to keep these PG if possible, but it doesn't happen, obviously. I got this awesome little crocheted F-bomb outside in there. I should just hold that up in the living room. I should just get that. He just needed to compose himself. He just had a meltdown. Meltdown. And I was left there looking like a horse's ass. Okay, that just happened.
What happened?
No, I'm saying that's what happened. That's when he got up and walked out. I'm like, okay, that just happened. There's no delay button on that. It just happened. Did we settle on a target party yet? Butte's asking.
I don't know what that means. Oh, yeah. So I think we are going to go with Marley and Luca. It'll be a fun playthrough, I think. I think it's the best for storyline purposes. Oh, there we go. We can finally go. I don't know what Nick knows. So this is kind of an interesting part here. Marley's going to ask for some candy, and you have to not do anything here. You just let her stand here, pick what she needs, be patient, and then she'll thank you.
Ronald on Facebook saying, talk to the guy down in the front, I think.
Well, we're good now.
We're good now?
Yeah. So our friend Luca on the top left is working on a teleport machine. So we're going to talk to these guys and see if we can try it out. And Tomboy Marley is all about it. It's a pretty cool invention.
I need one.
Yeah, if I didn't have to drive everywhere, it'd be great. So here's Marley. She's going to give it a try now.
Says CVX was brutal. Yes, and what Bear's talking about is Code Veronica. Code Veronica is brutal. And you know what's really funny is that we were playing it, and I got to the mansion, and the mansion literally is probably a quarter way through the game.
Mm-hmm.
Got to the mansion. I go, okay, when I get to the mansion, I'm done playing. You're playing, because that's halfway. Oh, no, I made him play 3/4 of that damn game.
So actually,
it was best.
Kind of an interesting story about our buddy Executive Bear is I wouldn't be your co-host today without him. This game was $70 when it came out, I believe, for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And my parents wouldn't buy it for me, and so my cousin Josh had it and let me borrow it, and it became my favorite game from there. I never owned a copy until I was in college.
Till you were quite older?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I owned a copy until I was in college either. I bought this in a complete complete in box. Oh. Complete in box with Final Fantasy 3. Each one was $70. It with the cellophane on, brand new. It was cut open, but it had the cellophane on it. And now the game's worth equally. The cart's worth about a $150.
Yeah.
And the box, complete and everything's worth about $250, $300. Mm-hmm. Games have gotten really expensive. I remember one time being suffocated. What was it? Soft locked? Oh, soft locked into the time travel sequence.
Really? So it must have just like did that one screen just kept going. This screen coming up. There you go.
And was this for the SNES, Maggot? Suffocated.
Nick can't read very good.
No, I can't. The text is really small, and I'm quite away. Leave me alone. And yeah, it was on the SNES.
This screen right here is what I'm guessing he's talking about.
That's strange that it would do that on a ROM cart, but I'm not saying it's not possible.
Well, I'm glad we didn't get soft like that.
Yeah, me too. It making me worry. Because where's our first save at?
Our first save probably when we go to the world map after we get out of this next section.
I've always loved the world maps in this game. The world map has always been fun.
Yeah, it's really really cool, and there's no random battles in the game. Actually, they're all you can see the enemies on screen. Some are unavoidable, but they're not random.
Maybe time travel's suffocating. I'm sure it is. I'm sure that vacuum's a pain in the butt.
One note that I just kind of like to do while I play this game is I usually try to run into every group. I don't grind on this game, but I usually try to hit
everyone you see
set of enemies, and it actually paces itself really well with the leveling. I've never really noticed a problem where you have to go back and grind. There's one section that I may grind depending on where our techniques are at, because I like to have all the second level magic before we fight a boss in a little while. So there's one spot I do grind a little bit, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Throw a little power on. The one drawback when I use this party with Marley and Luca is it will be a very slow party, which is a little bit frustrating. Chrono's the only one that has any speed, and so a lot of times the enemies can get a couple hits in before we get a turn.
You're talking about the active time, the active time,
yeah,
kind of the battle that we have going on here. Okay.
Yeah, so there's two, I would say, pretty quick characters in Chrono and Ayla, and then everybody else is pretty slow. Frog's somewhere in the middle. So,
okay.
But the two I'm going to use are slow.
Bammer, thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. We're going to be doing some game giveaways today, so make sure you stick around and watch us. When we're going to be doing the game giveaways, I can't precisely tell you that, but we'll be doing some game giveaways. I do like the music in Chrono Trigger.
Oh, it's excellent.
It is very good.
Yeah. It's a great soundtrack. I remember used to listen to it on my way to golf practice every day, believe it or not.
Golf practice.
Yeah, it was like there's a few songs that kind of just put you in the right groove. So one thing about Chrono Trigger that I used to be very bad at, and I'm pretty bad on most RPGs on, is I'm kind of a snob with trying not to use items, and there's really no reason for it in this game. Items are pretty cheap, and they're pretty easy to come by. So anytime that you need a quick heal, and your magic caster isn't available, items are really, really helpful in this game. So you'll see me use quite a few now that I realize that over time. Schmitty, why are you grinding for hours? This game doesn't require too much of a grind. Is that Sam or Nashar?
What one's that?
Bammer time?
I have no idea.
It says it's Sammer, by the way.
Is it? Sorry, I'm on the Facebook end of things here.
Yeah, just
So I see one of our admins here for NES fans and all the other pages and SNES fans is Aaron. So thank you, Aaron, for joining up.
So I'm going to use my first technique of the game here and do a cyclone spin to grab a couple people. A couple birds in one strike. Yeah, the Mega Potions from the Fossil Apes is good. I end up, using, I think, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 Mega Elixirs for the whole entire game. There's certain bosses that I don't really like to heal, waste 2 turns with a double heal, so yeah, I use a couple of those, but like I said, items are pretty plentiful in this game if you just kind of know where to go. Hey Sam, it's good to have you here. Sam's an old buddy from my hometown, so it's nice to see him on the stream. Sam does some really cool paintings of 8-bit and 16-bit system characters. I believe if you want to give a shout out to your page, Sam, they can go check it out because it's really cool. I bought Executive Bear, some Final Fantasy characters once upon a time from him. Does really good work. Is it Select Start Art? I think that's what it is. So this chest, I just kind of wanted to point it out, is sealed with the mysterious energy test. We'll try to take inventory of those as we go through this game.
What's in those?
There's a lot of really good items that we can't get for a long time. But as soon as we get ability to travel a little bit, it's really helpful. So,
Okay.
yeah. In fact, it makes one of my hardest bosses in the game quite a bit easier if you go and grab those.
And grab those.
Mm-hmm. So, here's Queen Leanne from 400 years before we started the game. So we time traveled from 1000 AD to 600 AD. And so this is the queen at the time. So we're gonna go up and visit her. So I just recently found this out. These chests, even right here, this is a chest. We could open it, but when we get access to the castle in 1000 AD, we're better off leaving them. Those items get better.
Get better as you wait longer for them.
And then we can go back and grab them at another time.
Just kind of letting them mature.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Come nearer, sir.
Somebody else is talking here. I don't know who Butte is, but obviously I think they know you.
Oh, that's Matt Escabel.
Okay.
Yep, he's my coworker. Took a vacation day so I could get away from him for a day.
All right. So you just come to this and talk to him anyway, right? So it doesn't matter.
Jessica doesn't get anything. It's okay.
We have Chris Hall, who joined the stream here on the Facebook page here. Chris is also an admin along with Aaron. Hopefully we're getting a few more admins that come in. But we like to definitely have our page management team join up in the stream. In
case you didn't see there, so the girl that we were with at the beginning of the game is Marley. She disappeared into 600 AD, and then she just disappeared again from existence. So
where'd she go?
Well, Luke's going to explain this to us right now.
Perfect. Well, I guess we have been throwing some spoilers out there, but so what's going on right now then?
So Luca just
we're going to have him keep giving us updates.
So Luca just came back in time to find Chrono and Marley, and she was able to travel back with us using the pendant from Marley. And right now she's explaining that Marley is actually a descendant from Queen Leanne from 600 AD. And so what she's explaining now is that at this point in time, the queen was kidnapped in 600 AD.
Okay.
And so now that Marley showed up, they think Marley is the queen. And so nobody's looking for her anymore. And if nobody goes and rescues the queen, she's going to die. And if she dies, then Marley can't exist in 1000 AD. So Marley disappeared from existence as long as we don't save the queen. But Luca realizes who Marley is, and so she knows that we have to go save her.
Okay.
And that's the story to this point.
And that be that, right?
Yep. And so now Luca is going to be part of our party. We get to check out her fire techniques a little bit. Not official magic, but some scientific magic that she uses. So the thing about this game is enemies move across the screen, and there are area of effect techniques. And so sometimes you can hit like all three guys there by just using one technique in one turn. So there's some timing issues in this game that are very interesting and that you have to kind of be cognizant of. And also, you have to know what your techniques do and what areas they affect. So, we know that Chrono has a cyclone spin that affects the little circle. And so when enemies are close, it's a good technique to use.
Okay. And Luca is ranged.
Well, so...
Can be?
So their physical attacks are all the same. They all just hit from where they are. They all will do that. It's all about the techniques. The techniques in this game are the ones that have area of effect. I'm going to save the game right here. We can do it anytime we want on the world map. So that's what we're going to do. There's also save points around.
Aaron Carrington here, one of our admins here, is asking how long are we playing for today. Aaron, we're going to be playing this until the evening. We're looking to make a few hours, probably 10 hours probably into this. Is that a safe assumption?
Yeah, I think so. I think our original plan was to play from like 9:30ish on until probably 11 with a break or two to grab some food.
Yeah, probably have to eat a bathroom break.
But we did get started a little late. Thanks, Nick.
Guilty, always.
But I still think that's kind of the plan. We'll probably play 10 to 12 hours of game time today, I'd say, and then have maybe a half day left tomorrow. And that will allow me to get on my way. I leave for a little vacation tomorrow. So
doing this before vacation.
On Sunday. So right now we went into the church and we were able to identify these as enemies. So these Nagaets, and it's actually one of the tougher early random battles. Luckily I'm getting some really good critical stuff.
Hey, Executive Bear's saying for us to go to the bathroom and eat at the same time, so we just have it going in and coming out at the same time.
Well, if Nick will just listen, I'll go eat while he plays.
That's true too.
But
that can help.
I don't know. I don't know if I trust him to play on without me.
I wouldn't trust me either. I mean, they're saying, Chris is saying that we're actually making pretty good time, and that's just because he's playing.
Yeah, we'll get through this as quickly as possible. I played through, like I said, a couple last week, basically. And we're going to be introduced to the fourth character of the game right here. It's a frog with a cape.
I definitely think we'll be making some good progress here too, Chris.
Yeah, so I played earlier in the week, and it's 16 to 18 hours, or 16 hours and 5 minutes was my playthrough time. It should be very similar to that. I don't think I made many mistakes when I did that.
So the music's great here when you get Frog, right? It's kind of uplifting and motivational.
Yep. So this isn't Frog's actual theme music, though. When we get Frog's theme music, then we're excited.
Oh, that is right, isn't it?
Yep. So this is Frog.
Let's just name him Frog.
Yep. And we're just gonna keep Frog.
Frog will do. The muscle.
We won't spoil his real name, but we do find that out eventually.
We'll get to that one later.
So we got to play this piano to open a door.
If it's anything like Resident Evil, then she should be pretty. Yeah, he should be pretty good. Actually, he should be pretty bad at it. Lucas should be playing it then.
That's a good point. Yeah, unfortunately in this game we don't have a Master of Unlocking.
The Master of Unlocking.
I gotta check if I have a shelter. I do not. I might go grab a shelter or two. I like to have those just so I can always get my technical points back at every save point. So I'm gonna go to the market and just grab a couple.
All right.
Shelters.
No window shoppers.
Nobody wants a window shopper. Let's see.
Real name is Jim Bob. Look at Joe Blow. No, that's not the name.
So we're gonna get a little defense here going for a couple of our characters.
Luca has some like Meg glasses going off. Family Guy.
Oh, I went the wrong way.
I've watched so much Family Guy at night to fall asleep. It actually keeps me up.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it was funny.
I just started rewatching. What are you laughing at?
I watched somebody posted a hamburger photo on Facebook the other day, so I commented with the reply of where Peter eats all those hamburgers and has a stroke. He's driving the car. Oh boy, that's funny. Anyway, you started rewatching what?
I guess if you say so, Nick.
Oh boy, that's funny. Hello, Nigel. Thank you for joining us here on NES Fans. We're also putting this on SNES fans, Atari fans, Sega fans. The video won't be archived into Facebook, but it will be archived from Twitch, and then we'll go ahead and put it over to the SNES fans page on Facebook. But thank you for watching. Stick around. We're going to do some game giveaways. Nigel, we're also streaming this on Twitch as well. It's probably going to have a little bit better of a stream. Not too sure. I know on Facebook sometimes they can get laggy, but we're trying to do things here on Twitch as well, so you can watch them wherever you want.
So one quick note on the story going through is Frog is kind of like a castle knight hero, and so he was looking for the queen, and that's why he has joined our party.
The frog. The frog. Ribbit.
And I don't, it's funny that his victory celebration is him flexing. Frog flexing is just funny to me. Game's goofy.
How did these headphones feel? Pretty good? Yeah, they're quite comfortable.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you after about 12 hours. But
yeah, right. But they're soft. They're soft. We got some new headphones here. I know. Executive Bear here had to use some earbuds, and the headphones I were using really, they didn't cover your full ear, so we decided to get some new ones and new microphones too.
Catch Sam there?
To do a painting giveaway?
Yeah.
Hey, we could do a painting giveaway.
Yeah.
So
next time let him know.
What was that?
I said next time let Sam know. When you're gonna do it.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be actually fantastic. And then what I could do is then I could put your ad up on here too. There, and for Select Start Art, and maybe we can do a giveaway. That'd be fantastic, right? See, Bear's into that. We're gonna go ahead and let everybody know here on Facebook too. I mean, next time I don't think it'll happen this time, but it can happen next time.
Yep.
No, we'd appreciate that, and then we could
a little partnership.
build up some Select Start Art, right? Select
Start Art. Yep.
Select Start Art.
Yep. Yeah, again, I would recommend going to that Instagram, Select Start Art. It's really cool stuff. Sam's been doing it, I think, how long have you been doing it, Sam? 5 years or so? Maybe even longer than that. But like I said, I bought Executive Bear, his 4 main Final Fantasy original NES characters.
We've been working on trying to get a Super Metroid one for me, but I guess it depends how I want it to look. That or a Blaster Master one with the Sophia 3 or whatever it is.
That'd be cool.
10 years. It's been doing it for 10 years.
Oh, look, we found them already.
There they are.
That's not true. So here's a couple chests. One thing that's of note is there is a little secret passageway over here where these 5 bad guys are worshiping Magus. Will come into play a little bit. And so we got an accessory and I believe Are they both accessories?
What else do we get?
So we got a speed belt and a defender. So I'm going to move the speed belt onto Luca because she's so slow. And I'm going to move the sight scope just to show the enemy HP onto Frog.
And what's the speed belt going to do for us?
So speed belt's just going to move her active time battle meter quicker because she, like I said, she's so slow. And when we get to the point where we're going to try to do some dual techniques with her, some fire spins and stuff, it is nice if she can get a little closer to Chrono's active time because he goes so much faster. You have to wait a long time for her sometimes, and it interrupts the flow of battle. So it is just nice to have her get a little bit better. 10 years, Sam. Wow. Time flies, doesn't it?
Been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be fun to have somewhat of a giveaway, you know, an art giveaway.
Yeah.
And the next time when we do this, Sam, is we would promote the hell out of it too, to try to get it, you know, building more content and more awareness for it as well.
Yeah. Sure.
And everybody loves free giveaways. I don't care who you are. Everybody likes anything free.
Everything tastes better free.
Everything tastes better free.
Did you get any cheap Pi Day pizza yesterday? There's Pi Day sales every day, 3.14.
Pi Day.
Yeah. Pizza at a one topping medium for $3.14.
Really? Mm-hmm. How many of those did you get?
I got 0. I didn't even realize it until it was too late.
Spencer loves pizza.
I do. I think we're going to order a pizza here later.
Yes, we are going to order a pizza. Where would you like to order a pizza from?
Domino's?
You know what I like from Domino's are those cine bread twists.
Oh, I see. I like the stuffed cheesy bread.
You like the stuffed cheesy
Yeah.
bread? Okay, well, we'll get both then. Why not?
Deal.
Let's do it.
So it looks like we found Queen Leanne, and we did not. They're just fakes.
Blue flames.
Now we have ugly snake things.
Ugly snake things.
Unlike a lot of video games, these snakes are not that bad to beat. Snakes in video games usually are.
Right, Medusas, snakes, things like that. Kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, spiders.
Spiders.
Are bad.
Yeah, Sam, I'd love to do that. I think that'd be super fun. Got my Stream Deck here and slow that chat down a little bit. No, because sometimes it goes fast.
Oh. Gotcha. So anybody have any problems with the audio or video or anything like that? You doing good? Everybody having a good time?
We'll see here if people are doing it on Facebook here. Looks like they're dwindling on Facebook, but they're building up on Twitch.
Yeah. Good. Twitch is going good.
And that's fine. That's what I wanted. You know, I wanted more people to watch it on Twitch. Just it's a better stream.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is going to be, you know, a pretty long stream. So, you know, if you can't stay for the whole thing, you know, a lot of people have a lot of stuff to do. You know, come back and join us if you have to drop off. We'll be here, see how we progress, where the story's going. It'd be great.
That bear, I'll tell you what. It's like, it's 'cause I'm here.
It's true.
'Cause I'm here.
I don't know. We'll have to see who got the higher stream count by the end of this. You with Resident Evil or me with Chrono Trigger, Josh?
Resident Evil did pretty good. We did pretty good on that, and that was just on Facebook. So we're gonna have some different ones here. You know, I mean, they're gonna be on all.
Hey,
so
don't give me excuses.
okay, fair enough.
I'm your guest today. Not
You
Josh.
are my guest. You are my guest. You are my co-host today. Thanks, Megan. Appreciate it.
So we got a maiden suit. It's a little piece of equipment for Luca that will be helpful. So yeah, we're grabbing that and throw it on. We're getting really close to a boss here soon. I guess not right away, but
You know, I feel like I've been monitoring all this and working with all this equipment here. I feel like I'm losing some of the story because I'm.
so we really haven't got any.
That's me though. That's just because I'm trying to handle.
Yeah,
all this.
and we haven't got really any extra story. We're still kind of in that we're going to try to save the queen so that we can save Marley from
Okay.
being eliminated from existence. So this is just kind of your first dungeon of the game. One thing I just grabbed was a power tab, and anytime we get a tab, we're going to try to use it today. Tabs permanently boost our stats. A lot of the power tabs will go towards Chrono because it will be mostly an attacking party. And I believe, if I remember correctly, that Luca and Marley's attack is based on their magic stat rather than their physical attack. And we're going to use their magic mostly anyway. So we'll give the power tabs to Chrono and then the magic tabs to the other two. Okay. Any speed tabs we get today, we're probably going to give to Luca and maybe some to Marley, but Chrono will probably be left out until we get those guys up to at least over 10.
So you've decided on your party, and that's a a choice that you're gonna have to just make and live with for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you don't have to, but what happens is as you go through this game, you get technique points for the people that are in your party.
Okay.
They'll still level up, but you don't get their new techniques. And if you switch in and out your party a lot and you don't get those higher techniques, the end of the game can be a little difficult and really not worth it. It's much more fun to get, for me, to get settled into a party that I like, that I'm comfortable with, and just go from there.
Okay. But you're going to be putting these power tabs in them and really building them up, so, I mean, you're not going to want to use Robo.
Well, no, I mean, and there are certain parts in this game where you don't get a choice. Certain people have, storylines that are based around them, and you're going to have to just deal with it. So Lucas' flamethrower that I just used there is a direct line attack to the enemy that you choose, and so anybody that gets in the way of that will also get affected. So
okay,
if you have a line of enemies that straight out from her, it's a really good technique early in the game.
Is that mic position for you? I can hear you well.
I think so, yeah.
All right.
And I can hear you good. So here's our first save point.
In dungeon?
In the dungeon that I'm going to use. And then we can also use the shelter when we're here, which I'm going to use right now.
It's like Final Fantasy 3 in a sense, right?
Exactly. With a tent or a
house.
Cabin.
So
here's spikes here. We can't get across those for now, so we're going to eventually have to. But we're going to have to make like a loop and a half around this place to get to where we need to go. Early in the game, most of the enemies are not immune to anything, so you can basically just physically attack them. As we progress into the game, there are different dungeons and different types of enemies that do require specific attacks, so we should be pretty good. U30 Twitch ad. I don't know what that means.
That's Taryn's brother.
Oh.
That's Artemis. That's Ian. I text him to let him know. He goes, "Ew, 30 Twitch ad." I have no idea.
So
I don't know what he means by that. I don't know if he's calling me a dirty Twitch ad.
Well, you're not 30, you're about 60, aren't you?
All right, thank you everybody for watching the Trigger. I do appreciate it. Get the hell out. No. Let me try to send some other messages to some other people and try to get some rocking on here.
So there is going to be some points in this game that are probably a little bit less interesting to watch, which we'll just kind of be going through some of these dungeons and stuff. So feel free to interact with us, and we can definitely multitask in this game a little better than maybe Resident Evil.
Oh, Twitch does pre-roll ads before you can watch the stream.
I got you.
So the 30-second Twitch ad, that's what he was getting at.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. That's our moderator there.
Yeah, so Executive Bear is actually my cousin Josh and Nick's cousin Josh, but Nick and I are not cousins.
Probably a good thing, too.
Very good. I'm very happy about that.
So we're using the, I know there's a few streamers out there, too, that may be watching, but we're using the Elgato Streamlights today, and we're only using 2 of them, and they're actually turning out quite well. Elgato was really nice enough to repost the post, I guess, retweet the tweet that I said to him about them in the way that which I had to set these up. But that's all we're using right now, and about 10%, maybe 20% of light and 1 lamp in the room. But other than that, it's looking pretty good.
All right, so you can see those 3 enemies are lined up together. We're going to use a fire whirl technique together. You can see Luca and Chrono's technique. It's the first one I'll use for them together. good technique to cover a lot of space and do a lot of damage. So it's a good technique early in the game. And then when we get to our first boss, we're going to use probably like the most iconic duel technique in the game, I'd say, which it's kind of fun. And remember, at the time you started playing this game, this was really new for its time. The area of effect was not very common, in the Final Fantasy games.
Oh, the AOE damage.
Yep.
But you didn't move around like this. The way this is played, or usually you line up. Your Final Fantasy, it's left,
Yep.
right. Good versus evil.
Well, and the interesting thing about this is later games like if anybody's played Lunar, Silver Star Story, everybody moves around, both your characters and the enemies. In this game, it's actually just the enemies that move, and then you have to react with your area of attack, AoE, based on where they are. So it is just a little bit different of an RPG, a turn-based one, especially for this time. And another thing about this was the graphics were so cutting edge at the time. This was done on a 32-bit cart on a 16-bit system. I think it's the only cart that's like that, or maybe
Star Fox?
Does that just have that stunt chip?
It has the chip.
Stunt FX chip. Yeah, but I don't know if it's a 32-bit cart. I think it just has that chip. And I'm probably wrong because I'm not much of a historian for the system, but I do definitely remember that. I think it was one of, if not the most expensive cart on the Super Nintendo when it came out.
What one was that?
Chrono Trigger. $70.
Yeah, it's a very expensive game.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy 3 didn't have it.
Didn't have what?
The 64-bit.
No, the 32-bit, right?
I think so.
No, I think Final Fantasy 6 was 16-bit, and this is 32-bit.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
You said 64-bit. Get together.
So we'll pull it up here in a little bit, and it was Tales of Fantasia was 48, but Star Ocean is the other 48, but that was only released in Japan.
Okay.
Commercial release was Tales of Fantasia, Daikaju, I honestly don't know how to say it, Star Ocean with an MMC, but Chrono Trigger there too. So,
Unsavory Maggot, what were you discussing with the SSSC and SSH? I'm terrible with acronyms. Do you know?
I don't know what he's talking about.
So again, we have to play a piano, and I think this is the last time in the game you have to do anything like this.
Silver Star Story complete.
Oh, yeah, Lunar, gotcha. Yep.
There we go. Excellent. Right on time.
Yep. Yeah, those games are awesome.
So there's a funny story, Maggot, with Lunar series, and Spence knows this one right now, and
Is this ex-girlfriend?
And Bear knows it. Yeah. So true story. The girl I was dating in high school at the time, I was living at home or whatever, and I was playing Lunar, and I had the game on, and I saved it, and I don't know, I think we were going to one of my friend's house, and I said to her at the time, I said, go grab my memory card out of my PlayStation. Well, my PlayStation was on, and she went over there, and she grabbed the memory card, she pulled the memory card out of the PlayStation while it was powered on, and brought me it, and said, here you go. And I said, did you turn the machine off first? She said, did I have to? And I instantly went back upstairs, turned the PlayStation 1 off, turned it back up, put the memory card in, turned it back on, and everything was gone. Everything was gone from my memory card. I was so pissed. It was like the end of our relationship right there. It was like all downhill from there. Freaked out. I think I kicked her out of my house. It's like, get out of my house.
She has since confirmed that you did kick her out of the house.
He's talking. I haven't talked to Christine in so long. But yeah, I was so mad. And then I had to go to Bear and say, I need your copy of Lunar. But it wasn't the same. You know, it wasn't my character. I've never ever played it again.
You never played that game again?
Nope, that was it. That was,
Did you ever finish it? Or just with Josh's?
Yeah, his.
Really?
That's it. Such a bad taste in my mouth. I put so much time into it, I was done.
Lunar's a tough game.
It was very long.
Yeah,
It's a tough game.
It's a long game, and those dungeons can be real long. It's a great game, though.
Good game.
So I think we're coming up on our first boss, 45 minutes into the game. I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, our Twitch stream's here an hour, but we're shorter because there was 7 minutes and a little bit of an introduction. So yeah, I'll give you 15.
Oh, I mean, it just said my save time was 45 minutes.
Oh, did it? Okay, I didn't even look.
Yep. So Queen just ran out while we're going to, I guess, kill the Chancellor.
Yeah, Megan, I would have loved to have played through more. It was just, I had such a bad taste in my mouth. I think I was a junior or senior in high school. And was more into some Resident Evils too. I was just done. I was like, get out of my house, you evil woman, you. Or messing up my game.
So this is our first boss, and this X strike is the technique I was referring to earlier. I don't know why it's
It's a good one.
I remember it so well.
But also, when you get the other people, doesn't Chrono jump up and land down on him?
I think Ayla will. And
Okay.
I think Robo will do a tackle at the end as part of a triple strike.
So
we won't do any of that.
I know where my favorite place is in Chrono Trigger, and it's the floating island, or whatever it is. I think that's always my favorite place. Do you have a favorite one?
I would say my favorite memory of Chrono Trigger is probably... I really like when you go to Prehistoria. It's really cool. I love the music there. Ayla and Kino are pretty fun characters. Yeah, I'd say that's probably true. Chrono has this technique called Slash. I hate it. It's one of my least favorite techniques in the
Slash.
game. No, yeah.
Zeal, is that what it's called? Zeal?
Kingdom Zeal. Yeah.
Kingdom Zeal. Yes, thank you. That's what it... I haven't played this game in so long, and they made so many ports of it.
Yeah, I can't believe you haven't played this in a long time. Oh, no.
It's been a long time.
Don't die, Frog. I knew he was going to die.
Oh, can you get him back up?
Yep, I've got to revive. So,
Like his tongue hangs out of his head.
it's funny, in the remake for the Nintendo DS, I don't know, in the remake for the Nintendo DS, these are called Athenian Waters Revives. I don't know why they switched the name on that, but it's kind of an interesting fact. So Yakra is posing as the Chancellor in the 600 BC. He kidnapped the princess, or the queen, and because the monsters have the queen, she's going to die if we don't save her. So that's how we're going to go try to get Marley back. Let's see. So again, I like using, even though Frog is a healer, I like Luca using items here so we can continue using X Strike. It's just a high attack damage on this enemy.
We have somebody here on NES fans watching it. Actually, we have a heck of a lot more people on Twitch than I thought we'd have on Facebook. It's nice that we're running this option. So if you don't know, we're actually streaming this to Twitch and concurrently with Facebook. So
And we just beat our first boss of the game.
there we go. I like the victory music.
Yeah. Very fun. I like his gore.
Excellent.
Hey,
I get-
you have to go back and play Lunar. I don't understand.
I know I haven't, right? It's such a bad taste in my mouth. That whole damn situation is awful.
Alright, so they're gone. See, this is similar to that other secret entry, but there is no secret
There's
there.
no one there.
So, there are a few in the game. I remember one towards the end of the game, but we'll try to point out little special passages and stuff as we go. So this is the frog music. It's such a dutiful thing.
Yeah, I feel like it is like you know, at a Final Fantasy theory, it almost makes me feel like science music or something, or maybe even not so much Shadows, but maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Just kind of the lone man.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna go back up to where Marley disappeared and see if saving Queen saved her, and it looks like she's back.
There we go. See, she was wearing rompers before rompers were cool.
Yeah. Yeah, she was fashionable. Luca's fashion will never come into fashion, though.
No, right? I mean, she's
kind of the
sporting Google Glass.
She's kind of the hipster before the hipster, though.
Oh yes, yeah, the hipster. Exactly.
I mean, with
she's ready. She's ready for Burning Man.
The beanie and the big glasses gone. Yeah,
ready for Burning Man. So what's going on here?
So she's just saying that the reason she didn't tell us she was the queen is because she didn't think Chrono would take her around the fair.
Because she's privileged. She's a privileged white girl.
Something like that. and then I just told her, no, I'd have taken you around.
Ah, all right, I'd show you a good time.
You're cute. So these are ancestors to each other, and they're saying that they really could be mistaken as twins.
They could be.
I mean, it's weird that Marley's 400 years younger.
It's good for her age. That skin cream.
So now Frog starts his pity party, which will last for the next 4 or 5 hours of the game.
Does it last that long? You just don't see him again, do you?
You see him, yeah. We'll see him in a little while, but he'll be in a pity party from now until the next time we see him.
Yeah.
And then we have to do some stuff to get him in a better mood.
Megan saying Robo's theme makes me think of all the Rickroll memes.
That's kind of funny. I can get on board with that.
I don't remember it, so I guess I'm looking forward to it. But we don't get Robo for a while, do we?
Get Robo real soon. He'll be the next. I don't know. I was just trying to do a multi-technique because we're gonna use the save point and in soon, but yeah, Marley still doesn't have a technique yet, which is I kind of thought she'd get earlier, but maybe I just haven't battled her.
Chris says whatever. Turtle shell helmet for the win. This is on Facebook here.
And she looks like she's wearing like a Girl Scouts uniform to me too. I don't know what it is. She's a character. Actually, a really cool thing so this was released as I think it was Final Fantasy Chronicles is what it was called, and it was a release of Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger together, and the Chrono Trigger part of the game actually had cutscenes. It's really cool. There's to see some anime type art with these characters. And then those cutscenes made it over to the port for the DS with a new dungeon. So if you guys haven't played this and you have a DS or a 3DS, take a look at that. It's a really fun way to play this game. A lot of the nostalgia is all there, but there's some new content, and those cutscenes are really cool. So just kind of a little bit of advice.
When they ported over Final Fantasy 6 or 3 in the US for the PlayStation, they didn't have the cutscenes.
So notice another box here in the inn. I should have Nick write these down, but I think.
Well, there was one in the woods.
Yeah,
and there's one in the inn.
Yeah, but we don't need.
We can look them up.
Yeah,
we have the power of the internet.
I was just kidding.
But see, at the time though, when we were playing these games, the internet. I mean, I guess Chrono Trigger was around when the internet we got dial-up, but it was a lot harder to find that. There was. Do
you have your guide here?
Yeah, I do.
Grab it.
I do have my Chrono Trigger guide here.
I mean, we don't need it. It's just kind of cool. It's some cool art in there. If you want to point it out to the
I'll grab it.
My buddy Nick is a big fan of strategy, guys. He has an absolute ton, and all the old Nintendo powers as well. So Nick is a shameless collector of anything video games. amiibo, magazines, strategy guides, video games, of course, stickers, pretty much anything with video games. Nick's all about it.
That I am. Dude, I like my strategy guides.
Did you hear? It's because you're bad at video games.
Because I'm bad at video games.
And then porn. You collect porn as well.
Yeah, got that huge box of porn. we watched 40-Year-Old Virgin when we were in Boston. It was on TV.
Boner Jams? 2020?
Yeah, right. Boner Jams 2015 or whatever it was. Yeah. He's like, oh, don't worry about me and this big box of porn. So, yeah, so here's here's the Chrono Trigger strategy guide. Fantastic guide. Yeah, good artwork, good cover. It's a good guide to have. I mean, it's what was it? Toys R Us, $14.99.
So one thing story-wise we're going to talk about real quick and then get back to that is so when Luca came back, she figured out a way to manipulate these time gates. So she has a time key now.
Okay.
And that's how we're going to get through these gates, and that's how she made it back in time. And so now we're going to go back to our original time of 1000 AD to bring the princess back, basically, because she's been missing a long time. And, you know, people get worried if royalty's missing for too long. Is Artemis Terran's brother?
Yes.
Oh. This is fun. Everybody just gives Nick shit. I really enjoy it.
Let's start banning everybody. Let's see here. Yes, Chris saying no Final Fantasy IV.
Oh, it was Final Fantasy. Okay, yeah, you're right. Final Fantasy IV and Chrono Trigger were in the Chronicles together.
It may be. I mean, all my PlayStation games are boxed away.
I think that might be right, and then there was a Final Fantasy anthology, which might have been 5 and 6 together.
The anthology was 5 and 6.
And then there was one, the Origins, which was Final Fantasy 1 and 2, I believe.
So we get a lot of game fans here. This is great. So Chris, thanks for sticking around. It looks like we have a few people over here on the Facebook side of things. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching over here on Facebook. We're going to be doing some game giveaways here shortly. Not in the next half hour, but it'll be a little bit.
So right now we're back in this LaGuardia Forest, but we're actually in the current day Guardia Forest rather than the 600 Guardia Forest, and you can see some things have changed. It's a little bit different of a color tone, and the enemies are a little bit different. So we have these mushroom monster things. I don't really know what they're supposed to be, but they're Hatake instead of Shiitake.
But they're not nearly as fun and friendly as they are in Secret of Mana. Like the mushrooms that bounce around.
That's a good point. Yeah, so there were 4 games that I kind of always considered to be like the 4 horsemen of RPGs on the Super Nintendo, and since I've kind of reevaluated that, but at the time I always considered this game, Final Fantasy VI, or 3 in the US, Secret of Mana, and Breath of Fire as the 4 kind of go-to RPGs for the Super Nintendo. Since then, I've really gotten to like Final Fantasy 4/2. I've played through the Lufia games on my
SNES. Are you Pi?
Yeah, my Retro Pi, and then Ogre Battle has been really fun on that as well. So there are some other RPGs that are really, really fun, but those were the 4 at the time that I always kind of considered the core 4.
Yeah, Breath of Fire was always a good one. I always enjoyed that one.
Yeah, Breath of Fire is good. And Breath of Fire 2 is a little underrated, but it's actually a pretty good game.
I own it. I've never gotten to it yet. Chris is saying this is good entertainment while at work. That's why we're starting so early. Start your Friday off just right.
Now, if you can just sneak in a flask to work, you'll be good to go. So we're almost to one of the funnier storylines of the game. I'm pretty excited to get there, and some of the work we did early will carry over here in a second. But like I said, I like to kind of just take on every single enemy that's in the way, and not revisit any areas, but just to keep the levels going.
And keep your progress going, just so you're not slowing down. I mean, you could sit here and farm here, but if you just attack everybody that's in your way, you tend to end up fare out pretty well.
Yeah, yep. I would say, yeah, it's a pretty good pace. This is one thing I loved about the game, and it's a subtlety that not many people realize. I just think the pacing of it is almost perfect. There's a few parts that lag a little bit for me, and I'll explain why. But for the most part, I think it really moves very well. And on your first playthrough, I mean, this game probably takes 25 hours, not really knowing where to go, not being comfortable with it. And like I said, we'll get through it in about 16. So it's a game that it progresses really well, and it guides you through, but it doesn't necessarily hold your hand. So we just brought the princess back to the castle, and the chancellor has basically told the king that we kidnapped Marley. And so the guards took us down. Marley tried to defend us, but the chancellor basically overruled her. And so now...
Well, that sounds like my chancellor at my school. Get out of my face!
So now we're going to be put on trial for kidnapping a princess.
For kidnapping.
Yeah. Chrono just, struts up like a boss.
Look at my Subway mug. It's see-through. Where are you? Sorry.
Nick is a child.
Yes, I can be.
So basically, Pierre is our our lawyer, and the chancellor is the prosecuting attorney. And the stuff we did at the fair earlier is going to affect the jurors here. So we bumped into her. They're showing a playback of that. And if we would have grabbed the appendant first, then this next question would be about wanting her money. Well, we checked on her first, so...
it wasn't about the money.
It wasn't about the money. Another thing is, at the beginning, there was somebody's lunch on the table, and we could have eaten it to get full health, but that went against our character, so we avoided that.
And this is kind of a fun part of the game, too, because everything that you've done here now can hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, we all end up in the same place, but
right.
It is fun to get an instant verdict. So she gave us a good character witness for bringing back her cat.
Right, doing good deeds.
Yes. So if we say no there and we try to grab her pendant, then he will point to that, but we
didn't have to worry about it.
And then the other thing is we can get in trouble for pulling on her while she's trying to get candy, but we didn't do that. So most of these people should go to the right, which means not guilty. If anybody ends up on the left, they're putting us as guilty. I'm gonna take a drink of water.
There's some ruckus. Quiet, everybody.
That's interesting. The people in the audience are the most lifelike part of the whole game, and they look like actual people. It kind of reminds me of one of those old wrestling games where they have the piped-in crowd that just kind of repeat the motion.
It's like pro wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? That game came out there for the Switch Online, and I played through it. And I was sitting in bed and I was playing. I'm playing pro wrestling here, and there's save states, and a good damn thing there is. Because as I'm playing these save states, my fiance's laying next to me, and there's no turbo on the Switch, which I need to get some Joy-Cons that have turbo. And I start hitting that button, and she wakes up. She's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Because the whole bed's shaking. And I was trying to fight. I was fighting fighter Hibashi or whatever it is. And I finally beat him, but then I got to the Great Puma. I just couldn't beat him. It's just trying to mash these buttons. My fingers were so tired.
So what happened here was the 7 jurors found us not guilty, but the chancellor still found a way to charge us with something. So we get put in jail for 3 days. And then now he's lying to the guards and saying that we actually were found guilty and that we're going to get executed in 3 days.
Liar.
Yeah. And, you know, I guess at 1000 AD there was no court documents to to make sure we actually should be executed.
This is true, right? They didn't have a stenographer.
Yeah, this is the Game of Thrones portion of the game.
Which I'm excited for that to come out here, you know?
Yeah. Next month. Oh, actually, I was going to mention, not Game of Thrones, but Chrono Trigger. We're actually on the 24th anniversary this week of Chrono Trigger.
Is it?
Yep.
So I guess it's a good time to be playing it.
It's a great time, yeah. It's really, I thought that was really neat.
Wow, all right. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's this week is the 24th?
Yep. 24th, yep. So I'm not sure about those ethers you get there, but I was wondering if they had to do with the verdict or anything, or if we always just get those. But so we can wait for 3 days to pass, or we can hit on the cage 3 times to get these guys to open and challenge us to a battle, which they're definitely going to lose.
March 11th.
Yeah. So do you ever go to Game FAQs anymore?
Yeah, I do.
So Game FAQs, and this is why I know this, had a trivia question of the day. It said 24 years later, have you ever played Chrono Trigger?
Yeah, I got it on my Stream Deck right here. Where is that? Game FAQ right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was 4 or 5 days ago, but it was the poll of the day, and that's how I found it out. And I was like, that's really neat that we're going to do that. So this cage won't open all the way, but we'll come back and grab these items through a different path. So these shield guys, this is like one of the first kind of gimmicky enemies, which is kind of fun to watch how this works. They'll peek their head out from behind the shield, and that's the only time you can attack them. Otherwise, they are invulnerable. So
Chris was saying if you're found guilty, you don't get the ethers.
okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So, and ethers are nice.
Ethers are nice.
Yeah, ethers are nice.
And again, you know, there is an abundance of items, so use them. Don't be afraid.
This part's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a cool pre-render background. For anybody who has never played this game, I mean, even if you're following along, just try to find a way to seek it out, however you need to. Like I said, the DS is awesome, but this game is just such a classic. It's kind of a lot of basis on what RPGs were turned into.
I bet they'll release this on the Nintendo Online store for the Switch when the SNES comes out. I bet this will be one of them they release.
Yeah, it might be. So this is just a couple good items you can go grab just by taking the first path on the right. So we're going to try to do as much as possible getting items and yeah, just getting through this whole prison.
Well, thanks, Chris, for sticking around here and watching us. We do appreciate it here at NES fans and SNES fans. So I'm glad you're being really constructive at work. Why not?
Oh, I'm being constructive at work too, I guess, since I'm not there.
You're working.
Working it. Speaking of which, as I battle, I'm going to check my work emails to make sure I'm not getting in trouble by anybody.
That's all right.
They don't pay me enough for this.
They don't pay me anything for this.
No. The guard you just beat up, he runs away and said they don't pay me enough for this, which I think is kind of a funny line. So now we're gonna go free a prisoner, which actually on my last playthrough I forgot to go grab the reward for it. So again, as you can see, you know, you can usually one-shot or two-shot most of the enemies through here. All I've done is just fought the enemies that were in the path. I have not grinded at all. Again, the pacing on this is really good. There are some, you know, tougher battles as we go, but it has a good learning curve until a couple bosses that are just absolutely brutal. But if you know the tricks, you're usually pretty good. So you can bonk these guys on the head, but I don't think you get the experience for them, so it's just easier for me to one-shot them, grab the experience, grab the technical points, and be good to go. As you can see on the back end, well, I guess that wasn't a good example, but when it says you get technical points, they go towards learning new techniques, and I'll take you guys into that sub menu right now after this battle, and just show you what I'm referring to. You have these techs, and I guess it won't matter till we get magic, but you have techniques, and as you get these TP points, you learn new techniques, and so it's just always nice to have a new technique. So we're gonna save this guy from the guillotine. Weird they're just letting him sit out in between a blade, but I think we've lost Nick's focus, but that's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Red Hot Chili Peppers are coming on live here from the pyramids, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat. You shouldn't have told anybody that. We're gonna lose everybody.
Yeah, that's probably shouldn't have.
So we just saved the guy from the guillotine. I think he said his dad owns a inn in Truce Village. So when we go to Truce, we'll go to the inn, and I think he gives us a reward or something.
Says, unfortunately, you're capped for now.
What does that mean?
I don't know what he's saying.
Oh, yeah, my TP points are.
Okay.
Because until you go see the magic guy, you can't get you can't get any new techniques, which is kind of a bummer. So again, you just gotta wait for the shield to bear his ugly face and go ahead and
There
attack.
you go. What?
Yodudi.
Yodudi? Yodudi?
The 24th anniversary of U2, Josh? Is that what we're getting there?
I'm just making sure you're getting the same stuff on your screen that I'm getting.
So this guy isn't having a good time. He's dead.
He's dead.
Not great prison conditions here. Oh, you restarted my chat.
All right, just refresh your stream so it's up a little. It moves a little faster.
Oh, you're at work. I got you, Josh. So those chests that we couldn't get to earlier, we can use the brick wall to climb down, and you can't really tell if Chrono's dancing or climbing down a wall. It looks almost identical.
Item shop?
What's that?
It says item shop. Chris is saying item shop.
Oh. That's where his the guy who we saved's dad works. But yeah, we'll swing by, and but we ended up getting a pretty nice sword there for finding that little secret.
The load sword?
Area. Yep, it's a good sword for the game here. And we'll make our next battle.
Is that only the way to get into that right there?
Yep. Because these cages won't open, so there's a hole in the wall. This was actually always a tricky part for me before I knew what to do on how to get up and down this wall. You have to go just off the side and then go over.
Okay.
It's like a weird, I don't know. It's just got some weird physics to it. So we'll go ahead and attack these guys again. Like I said, we'll just kind of get most people in the way. Ooh, my audio quality just went terrible.
Yeah, mine too. I don't know why that did that.
Is that everybody's? I hate this.
Yeah, you hearing that?
Yeah, it's awful.
I have no idea why it did that.
I think it's still bad.
Yeah, why did that do that? But our audio on our end just got a little messy.
Fix it.
We're gonna try here.
So this is a little note right here that will.
Yeah, that got really bad, didn't it?
Yeah, it's awful. There's Luca coming to help us out.
So what I want you to do is save it,
okay,
and restart it. So hit down, and we'll see if this works.
Is everybody's audio crap for the game right now? Oh, he said still pretty good there too.
Yeah, it kind of got goofy for me.
Yeah. It's still bad. Did like one of these headphones get unplugged or something? So, this is saying that the tank head repairs the body and it's immune to lightning and fire. So, basically, what it's telling us is attack the head physically and then take care of the rest. Nick, I've lost all of my chatting. I got some people popping up for you, but I don't have any of it. Well, this whole thing has gone to hell in a handbasket. So we're going to attack the dragon head here with both these guys until it's dead. Dummy. Oh, the game just went out for me. Oh. Did you shut that down for a second? Okay. I don't know the boss battle killed me. So now the head's dead. It'll stop repairing itself. We're going to have Luca throw on a tonic on Chrono and start using some Cyclone to take care of the wheel and body at the same time. I think it improves our physical attack anyway, so it's good. I don't remember if Fire Whirl works on this part. I think it does, but we'll check it out. So we just defeated the Robo boss. Yeah, it's still terrible. And I still have no chat. They formed a little bridge for us to step across. It's kind of funny. You shut the audio off there for us.
I did game only.
Uh-oh. I have nothing on.
Yeah. Something went really bananas here. I don't know what that would. I don't know what would cause that.
Like, I don't have a game.
I know this.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if it was still there.
Yeah.
We're quiet again. So we appear to have lost the game.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that or why it would do that. I guess we might probably have to reboot.
Okay.
And that's fine. We'll come right back to this. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I think we might have to rebattle that boss, but that's okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's I have no idea what's going on here and why that crashed. So we'll just take a quick break and we'll come right back into this. So I apologize for that. We'll be right back.